Okay, so I pulled out two extra cards for you guys, mainly because I wanted to see which direction they're heading in. So you have some good cards, honestly. I feel like the cards are very clear, and at least, it shows me one direction, which is you're moving ahead. You're not really looking back, and you're not looking like yearning for the past, longing for the past, or even thinking like what should have, could have happened. I feel like the reading is very directed, very future oriented, very, there was definitely closure in your past. So in the past, we have here the Nine of Swords, which is, a lot of anxiety, feeling a little bit of guilt, feeling a little bit like, oh, is that person going to come back? Do I owe them an explanation? Are they going to explain to me? Are they overcoming their anxiety? So I feel like you were either dealing with some internal guilt that might have happened for you as a result of socially dating and feeling like possibly, talking to other people outside the relationship, feeling a little bit guilty about doing something that you're not supposed to. Okay. And then for others, I feel like you might have had somebody in the past who was very, very anxious about their life. They either might be dealing with anxiety or nervousness, or they had a lot of financial worries, a lot of financial hardships. They had a lot of options on the one hand, and they're not really sure, like, what should I do with my life? What should I, where should I go? What should I do? And they were constantly stuck in this feedback loop where they're not really able to make decisions to move their life forward. So I feel like it was very cyclical. It was a very, very cyclical type of relationship. And I feel like your life is going really well because for many of you, I feel like I feel that it's the relationship. It's dealing with other people that brings you problems. Your own life, the way that you have it, the way that you manage it, it is always perfectly suitable for you and appropriate for you. It's other people that brings the problems. So you might have had a relationship partner that had attention problems that, constantly, they're kind of drifting around without a sense of direction because, opposites attract, right? So drifting around, having a lot of financial anxieties, not feeling very settled, and constantly fearing the future. So we have that situation coming into the picture. We also, because the person brings this to the table, you might love them, you might really care about them, but you weren't sure about the direction of your relationship, okay? Moving into the present, if you're still in a relationship with them, and if you're dealing with an air sign, so this is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra showing up here as the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. The Knight of Swords is somebody who is generally very honest, talks a lot, chatty, like very, very chatty, quite intelligent, but a little bit of a show off when it comes to how intelligent, showing off how intelligent he or she actually is. So this is also somebody that's really ambitious. When it shows up in the reverse position, they're dealing with, not being able to get things off the ground. They're dealing with a very slow, arduous process in getting them where they need to be. They also don't make decision rashly. They don't jump right in and ask questions later. I feel like they're very methodical. They like to plan things out and they are trying their best to be a good relationship partner. I feel like there's a change around in this person's mentality. And it's linked up as well with the Seven of Coins. This is a card that is really, really good. It basically means you and your partner are on board. You both want the same things out of life. You both want to build a relationship from the ground up. You both want to work at things because there's a lot of love. There's a lot of mutual respect, and that there's a lot of affection between the two of you. I'm feeling there were a lot of ups and downs with this person. And, if you watch my readings, I don't advise getting back with exes because they're there for a reason. We learn from them and we move on. And likewise, they learn from us and they move on. But I feel like this is a situation where there is a lot of affection. It's very deep. It's very long, like a long-rooted relationship. And you might have at times questioned. I feel like for some of you, you might have questioned their words, and if there are trust issues, that's not going to work. But I feel like this is somebody that you don't doubt their words. They don't make promises unless they can keep them, because I feel like they don't jump right in until they know the whole story. So they're a little bit more reserved and more cautious, unlike, air signs that typically ask questions later. Okay, so I feel like this is an energy where it can lead to a good relationship. Okay, in the present environment, I feel like for many of you, there might have been some type of a one-sided relationship here. This is the Two of Wands, and the twos in the tarot always indicate like a relationship. When it's in the reverse position, it can indicate like long distances being bridged between you and another person. If you were seeing them at a um, distance, the two of you might come together. And I have here an earth sign. So this is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, represented by this page of Pentacles. There is a distance being bridged between the two of you. There is a coming back together. I feel like if you're dating this person and you might have complained that the relationship is very one-sided, they're starting to kind of, I'm hearing, overhaul. Like, I'm hearing it's like the fire being lit from under them. And they're just like, I'm sorry, I took it for granted. I'm coming back. I'm trying to make things better. I feel like they are trying, and it's going to get better for a time. And then the two of you will revert back to your old ways. So I feel like some things here, old habits die hard. So be careful if you're dealing with this. Set very clear boundaries for yourself if you're dealing with an earth sign, okay? Old habits die hard, they say. So if you've done all the work and, now they're finally like, let me just chip in. See how that goes. But at the same time, just make sure you get past that 3-month honeymoon stage and then see if the whole new behavior becomes a habit or if old habits will reemerge, okay? Because I feel like they haven't really changed much. So the foundation is something that you are thinking about. We have here the Wheel of Fortune, which is a lot of abundance, a lot of options, the wheel turning in your favor in the upright position. So honestly, Aries, you're kind of like the life of the party. And so I don't feel like you're ever short when it comes to options in dating. And you're never short when it comes to friends that you can hang out with and mingle with and, people in your environment. But it's the quality of the people that you need to be careful about. Okay, so this is like knowing what you're worth, not really settling for people that don't live up to your expectations, and knowing that there are a multitude of choices that you are that are available to you. So there's no need to revisit past relationships if they haven't really worked out. And we have here, this is your energy. This is the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're coming to a space where you can admit some things about yourself. And a lot of it has to stem from behaviors in relationships that you need it to break. So this is a card about self-awareness, realization about yourself. You have a tendency to give a lot of yourself, to kind of like take over, be like that mother hen, to take care of your relationship partner, to, feed them and cook for them and do all of these superfluous things for them that they didn't really ask for. They never asked for it. So you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, out of love, out of, wanting to care for the other person. When the other person doesn't ask for it and we do these things, it can make us resentful if they are not appreciative. It can make us resentful if we feel like they're not appreciative, right? And so you are learning to hold back a little bit. And then for others of you, I feel like you're tired of playing this mother hen role, tired of taking care of other people, tired of fixing a relationship partner. And then, once they're fixed, once they're done, once they're whole again, they might leave the picture. So I feel like you're approaching relationships in a different light overall. I'm not fixing people anymore. I want somebody who's ready. I want someone who's already, fixed. I want somebody who is whole. And so if that's the energy that you bring to the table, that's what you're going to be attracting. So It's not so much the quantity of people that are available to you. Aim for quality people. Aim for people without emotional hangups, without emotional baggage. We all have it, but whether or not we bring that and, kind of sling it around in our relationships, that's a different story. And you're coming to the realization that you're tired of being the fixer upper. You're tired of making other people whole. They should be prepared and well ready to date. And so when that mentality, when that little light switch comes off in your head, this is when new opportunities will be made available. Opportunities. The world basically indicates opportunities. It indicates expansion. It indicates as well coming into contact with worldly people, people who might be of a different type than you, like different ethnicities, different cultures, different upbringing, dating outside of your usual circle, not relying on the usual friends that you normally associate with and go out with and meet people with, but, possibly reverting to internet dating or even meeting people through different means. So I feel like you have some really positive choices. I feel like if it's new people, we have a big, big card here. If it's new people, I see an earth sign. If it's new, earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Make sure that you screen out those projects, okay? You need people to be whole. You don't need to fix them, okay? And so we have here the Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new relationship. This is the beginning of something new. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be fostered, and it can grow into something very beautiful and stable. We have as well in the past the Strength card. And the Strength card basically indicates a situation where there's a lot of attraction, but once again, different species, the idea of different species, two people not seeing eye to eye. This card is intensely about attraction. It's about seduction, attraction, and, excuse me, wanting to have a relationship where there's an element of control. You're letting go of control issues. We have as well the Seven of Swords. This is kind of like scoping around, snooping, wondering what the ex is up to, trying to look at pictures online, etc. And this is also a card about, sneaking around, doing things that you're not supposed to. But I feel there is a major, major relationship for many of you. So I feel like old habits are being let go of and new habits are forming, which would be better for you. For those of you who were dealing with somebody that either cheated on you, I feel like it's making a comeback. Do not let that person back in. For others, if you have cheated on somebody, and I feel like there was a major struggle here, possibly earth sign and air sign, so you might have been juggling two options, and this is the time for you. I feel like there's going to be that air sign that comes into the picture, okay? Or that you're going to go with, okay? So I hope the reading has been helpful for you, Aries. I don't like to see, a lot of stepping outside of the relationship, but I feel like sometimes people take breaks in between relationships or with the relationship partner, and then they go and date other people for a while, and then they come back. That's fine, but just make sure you are a little bit more directed and consistent about the types of people that you want in your life so that you can attract the right things, okay?